Welcome to the Pickleball Recovery Podcast, where we highlight products and practices to help you feel better faster, so you can spend less time stiff, sore, and injured, and more time on the court doing what you love. This podcast is sponsored by AlloMD. Don't just mask pain, eliminate it. AlloMD provides intense relief and advances continual repair for both acute injuries and chronic pain. All-natural, patented technology developed by doctors to get you back in the game fast without the use of opioids, steroids, or NSAIDs. AlloMD, harnessing the power of pure natural ingredients that provide deep, penetrating repair. Patented, validated, natural. Learn more at www.allomd.com and make sure to use the discount code PBR at checkout to save $5 off your order. What's up? Welcome to another episode of Pickleball Recovery. I'm your host, Tim Ringgold. How you doing? Did you play any pickleball today? I didn't. The courts are closed. There was a fire in the historic Tustin hangar here in Southern California last Tuesday, and it's been burning pretty much on and off since then. And that hangar was full of asbestos, ladies and gentlemen. Yep, asbestos. So last Tuesday, when one set of courts were closed, we went to the other ones, and I was literally brushing the asbestos off the court, like with my paddle, not knowing that ash was full of asbestos. So that's a drag. So anyway, we are not on the courts today, and it was probably a good thing because my shoulder needs a little bit of a break. I tend to wreck my right shoulder, and what I've noticed is if I hang, and I need to do an episode about this. I'm trying to get an expert on to talk about this breakthrough approach to taking care of your shoulders. When I take care of my shoulder in a very specific way, I don't have shoulder pain, but I travel a lot, and it's been hard for me to really find a way to do the shoulder rehab on the road. So I wrecked my shoulder again last week. So some self-imposed, or actually not self-imposed, some city of Tustin imposed break is quite needed by my shoulder. And so that's what's going on over here. Over there out in pickleball land, everybody's back from nationals. I did not go to nationals. It was my 20th wedding anniversary last Wednesday, right in the middle of nationals week. I wasn't going to Texas. I wasn't going anywhere near nationals with a 10-foot pole. That would have been a career limiting move as a married man. So I really had no interest in going to that country club in the middle of Texas in the chaos that ensued. I had a much better time celebrating my 20th anniversary with my wife on Catalina Island out here in Southern California. I genuinely don't feel like I missed it. There are other things in life that are more important than pickleball, and one of them is my marriage. So I think I did the right thing. But at nationals, it's a perfect segue about our guest today, because this guy, Mr. Dayne Gingrich, he is a podium machine. So he was there playing in 4 events. And how many podiums did he get? Yeah, 4. He took gold in Senior Pro mixed doubles, took gold in Senior Pro men's doubles, took gold in split-aged men's doubles, and took bronze in split-aged mixed doubles. That's a pretty good trophy haul, if you ask me. They're not trophies, they're medals. I get it. But you know what I'm saying? So this interview is from when Dayne and I were at PPA Vegas, and we either shot this just before he was going up to get his yet another gold, or after. I can't remember. It was probably just before. But this guy is a podium machine. And listen, when you move better, you play better. There's no secret to that. You also, you just feel better. And listen, I know we all want to play better. So that's going to be the underlying theme of this whole thing is how does Dayne take care of his mind and his body so that he can spend as much time on these podiums as he does. And he's very candid about it. So you're going to get both barrels from Coach Dayne in this interview. You're also going to get a lot of laughs because the guy's hilarious. And the two of us spend a lot of time together on the road on tour and really enjoy each other's company. He is a class act. Just don't try to get him on your podcast unless you have like an 18-month window before you actually want to put that episode out. Oh, so with no further ado, sit back, relax, enjoy the ride, and I will see you on the other side. Dayne Gingrich.
Yes, sir.
Welcome to Pickleball
We're
Recovery.
here. How long this has taken to happen?
Let me just say, I interviewed Dave Weinbach at this tournament a year ago.
Right.
And I had started asking you first.
Right. Well, you should have.
Been a long time since I asked you to be on this stupid podcast. So thanks for
don't
finally.
ever do that again.
Yeah. What, ask you to be on the podcast?
Or do that, the singing thing. So
I should stick
I
to guitar.
apologize for Weinbach's interview. I didn't. Yeah. Sorry.
It's okay.
Okay.
This is what it's going to be like most of the time. Strap in, buckle up.
Post that.
Hashtag post that.
Yes,
That's going to be another thing that's going to be running. So we have hung out many times on the road. Here we are at the PPA Circus.
Yep.
Wherever we are. We're in Las Vegas. And we're listening to Britney Spears in the background. You guys have no idea.
No idea.
It's been a long day.
Yep.
And you just won gold medal, Senior Pro men's doubles.
Yep.
Congratulations.
Appreciate it. Mircha and I finally played together, never played together, and was fortunate to take out Weinbach and Crandall.
There you go, in the finals, no less.
Yep.
And funny story, you've come a long way with Mircha.
Yeah.
He had to remind you because you forgot that apparently you blocked him on social media.
Yeah. I mean, it's actually the irony in this that A, we played together, B, we won and had amazing chemistry. Is the irony is almost unarticulable.
That's a good one.
Yes.
Post that.
Post that.
Unarticulable. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Hooked on poenics.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah,
That's
stay in
it.
school, kids.
Yeah.
Don't go to sports. So, but well done. And I see from head to toe, and not everybody can see this on camera, but there's various armor and accoutrements that have got you through the day.
Yeah.
I remember us actually having the first conversation I had with you about this topic was actually TOC. And it was fascinating because it was almost like an offhand conversation. We started talking about food.
Yeah.
And what do you eat during tournament day? And then we got on the topic of like meat, vegetarian, diet, inflammation. And I was like, oh, this guy actually pays attention to this stuff. So I knew you, aside once we'd get through all the witty banter, there would actually be something of substance for my listeners.
And there is.
And there is.
Yeah.
We'll get there, I hope.
Yeah.
So here we are. We're going to talk about, like, how do you keep your body in shape? Like, let's start out. How many years have you been on either a tennis or a pickleball court out of the years you've been alive?
Dude, I mean, I started playing tennis with my dad at like 2, 3, 4, 5.
Dang.
Yeah, and I'm playing forever. And I took a couple years off, right? And I played basketball at the same time. So it was tennis and basketball my whole life. And so I've been on one of those courts since I was born.
Wow.
Literally.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it only started taking this health and wellness and recovery thing serious during the pandemic, right? When I started getting more serious about pickleball, professional pickleball, and getting ready for Senior Pro, and you know, after injuries, right, and after inflammation, and after like just having bad experiences, I just said, hey, man, like I was in recovery, working on a back issue, and it took me out for 4 months during the pandemic, thank goodness. But I was out there drilling on a ball machine, and I reach and I back, and so I was in rehab for 4 months. Okay. And while I was, while he was working on me, have you ever thought about, going plant-based? You're out of your mind. I love my red meat. No, there's no way.
You just I couldn't imagine the abuse. Oh. Like it just came fast and furious.
It was crazy. It was crazy. And I'm thin, so I ate all of that. Yes. But this pickleball, there's something about it where I started to feel everything in my body. Yes. While I trained my butt off and playing all the tournaments and like experiencing from 7A to 8P sometimes in a pickleball tournament, one-day thing, where in tennis you have a couple matches, then you come back the next day, right? Basketball, you have a 2-hour, but in pickleball, it's morning to night. Yeah. And you could feel everything happening in your body. And I went home to went back to the hotel, and for the first time was like, ouch. Wow. What the hell? Yeah. So he convinced me. It took a while. He said, you got to try plant-based. And I did that. And I I just backed off of it this year because I wasn't getting enough protein. Like I just wasn't able to eat enough protein. So I'm still super clean. I still don't eat red meat at all. And I realize when I eat red meat, it just makes me feel terrible. And I do feel inflammation. Yep. But I'll go to chicken and sushi. Yep. Right. Chicken and fish. It's got to be super clean. Yep. That I just couldn't get enough tofu and black. I just couldn't fill up. Yeah. Right. And I started to get injuries and and I needed a little more protein in my diet to help recover also.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's been a long. I mean, you know, I'm 50 years old. I'm 50 plus years old, right? So like it's just my brain says you're 35.
Yes.
But my body after
Yes.
these tournaments and after training before and after and all the dynamic warm up, like I can't drill without dynamic warm up
Right.
for 45 minutes.
Right.
Like I just won't.
Right.
Doesn't mean I'll get injured, but I don't want to risk it.
Yep.
And I feel way better.
Yep.
So this is full time. This is every day, 7 days a week, stretching at minimum 2 hours every night, but sometimes it's twice a day. Every single night, 7 days a week. I watch film from 11 to 1, 7 days a week at night, and I'll stretch either while I'm watching or right before I'm watching. My wife is, I watch Ben more than I see my wife. Like, I'm not even, my wife said, hey, is that Ben? Yeah,
Post
that's Ben.
that.
That's Ben. Post that. So for me, it's a full time because if you want to do well, like for me, it's always been go big or go home.
Yes.
Like I just can't. I don't drink. I've never done a drug in my. Literally, I've never smoked pot once. People think I'm crazy.
Yeah. Especially living in Santa Barbara.
Right. Right. I just don't believe. For me, it wouldn't work if I didn't go 100.
Yeah.
I just don't know what. I just don't know.
That's how you're wired.
Because then I would lose. I just like if I go 100 and lose, at least like because. Kobe's my favorite athlete, and like the dream, his is the work.
Yeah.
It's not the medal.
Yes.
The dream is the clean diet.
Yeah.
It is the K-tape on the knees. It is the ankle braces. It is the sacrifice when everybody's drinking and you're not. Like that's the dream.
Yep.
And until I can't do it, I'm gonna pretend I'm 20 and playing Ben.
Yep.
Right. Like I'm not playing Ben, but I'm gonna pretend I am.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Makes a difference.
Yeah, it totally makes a difference.
You didn't win gold today by coincidence or accident.
Yeah.
Success leaves clues.
Yeah.
And so it's like something went into that process, and some of it happens on the court. And the hymnal that I'm singing out of is that a lot of it happens off the court.
Yeah.
Right. And so it's the behind the scenes stuff that people don't see.
I think most all of it happens behind the scenes, actually. I think the vast majority, there's nothing we do on the court that hasn't been prepared in some form or fashion.
Yes.
If players are succeeding regularly, there's nothing that happens on that court that they haven't prepared for off. I don't care.
Yep.
And the players that come and go, that play well, that don't play well, that have results and don't have results, they're the ones that are off the court, not sacrificing and having discipline. For me, it's straight routine and discipline.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
It's freaking hard.
Yeah.
And I do lose out on a lot. And people think I'm out of my mind. Like, but I just don't know how to do it any other way.
Yeah. I love that. No, and it's like, well, you can look at it two ways, right? You could look at it like you're saying no to one thing, but you're saying yes to your dream.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're like, I'm not saying no, I'm saying yes.
I'm saying yes
and
to
I'm
something.
Clear about what my priorities are and what I value, and I'm saying yes to what I value.
Right. Right.
Winning.
Right.
So
seriously, like the dream, Scobie, like is the process for me. Like literally, I would rather drive anywhere than fly. Not because I'm afraid. I'm not afraid. I just enjoy like the time on the road, the space in my mind, visualizing and being part of it. I love like going and eating while I love the hotel life. Like, I don't love the hotel life, but I like the process of the preparation.
Yes.
I just love the ice baths and the cryos and the stretching at night in the hotel, watching TV and getting nervous for the match way more than actually the court time.
Wow.
The court time's fine.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah.
But that excitement and the leading up and like preparing and trying to out prepare who I know I'm going to play. If I can out prepare, then I have a shot. If I don't out prepare, I'm going to get crushed.
Yes.
There's too much good talent.
Yes.
Even in the senior pro.
Yes.
There's still a lot of good talent.
There
And
is.
if you don't prepare, you're going to get worked.
Yeah.
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 It's only getting tougher.
We were joking earlier. I was joking earlier about how there's kind of like these two tiers in the bracket. And like at this tournament, there were like 4 teams in particular that were cut above.
Yeah.
And then there was a bunch of us journeymen who are, trying to figure it out. But there were 8 of you guys out there today that are playing on another level. Yeah. And it's great for us to watch because it looks easy.
Yeah.
It looks easy.
Yeah.
And then you
that's
go
what
out there.
That's what we say about Ben though too, right? Like,
yeah. And then I went 0-4 in one of my matches today, and I was like, wow.
Right.
It went quick.
Right.
But it wasn't because they were figuring something out today while in a tournament match.
Right.
They had figured that stuff out that they destroyed me with long before we walked on the court today.
Right.
Some of it's the techniques, but it's this too. How do we keep this thing running
Smooth.
It's pretty cool that you see a lot of these senior pros now taking care of their bodies better.
Yep.
I mean, Mircea's a beast. Like, these guys are strong. Like, Scott Crandall looks good. Like, all these players look solid.
Yeah. Remember, I was joking Steve Dawson's legs. I was like, when I grow up, I want Steve Dawson's legs.
Right. Even the OG, right? One of my Mills.
Yeah.
Dude, like, he's
try to move
rock.
him. He's a rock. Yes.
Yes. And I'm not saying, like, we listen and, like, he's not plant-based and he's not drinking, but the dude is in really good shape.
Yes.
He's strong as hell.
Yes.
Right? Like,
yep.
You kind of have, you can't be
Yep.
You got to do it right, in my opinion.
You got to take care of your body.
Yeah.
So let's talk about when you're home, what are some of your favorite modalities? You said stretching at night.
Yeah.
Any kind of tools that you like to use that are helping you with your stretching or just helping you with your recovery?
Tools as in like actual physical.
Yeah, modality. Like, I love this gun, or I like these boots, or I like what different types of things.
I was doing a lot of, I was doing compression pants for a while, but there's something that happens to my knee.
Okay.
I don't know what it is, but I bought my own, or I didn't buy my own. I was given my own, and for some reason it tweaked my knee, and I don't know what it is. So I stopped. Then I was going to another place that was doing cryo, and the boot and the sleeves, right?
Yep.
And that was great for a while, and all of a sudden I had the knee thing again. So unfortunately, I can't do the compression thing, and I really believe in it. I think it's amazing. When it wasn't hurting, it did amazing things, right?
Yes.
For me, it's not fancy anymore. Like, I'm a crazy roller. I do the massage gun also, but I'm a crazy roller because
talk about that.
Well, the great thing about rolling that you can't see in the stretching sometimes is the rolling gives you immediate feedback.
Yes, it does.
Because like on the IT band and the quad, you can't hide from it, but it also rewards you for doing it.
Yes.
It's like, that was a level 10 a week ago, and now it's at a 3.
Yep.
Yeah, it'll come back to a 10 if you don't do it. So here's the discipline part, right? And this is the whole, every time I get like, I don't want to do it, I'm like I just hate always saying it, but like, I just go into that Kobe brain.
Great.
Or all the great ones, right? The Tom Brady's, like, they've always said it doesn't matter if you want to.
No.
When you don't want to, you got to train as if you freaking love it. So every time I don't want to, I do. And it's amazing with the rolling, like you said, you can't hide.
No.
And it tells you when you're doing it. So that's also fun, because when stretching, I'm doing stretching to not get injured versus being like a gymnast splits, right? Stretching, you can't always see while I'm stretching. I can't, because I won't push it anymore. I used to push it and then tweak things. But I feel it on the court. Like, I feel like, that stretch dink, or that reset that I couldn't get I feel way stronger. I feel better. Right? So you see it small versus the rolling that says
that's immediate feedback.
Yeah.
And it helps. It's hard when our body's working, we take it for granted. And stretching's weird because it's this preventative process. It's almost like taking vitamin C.
Right.
You don't feel any different after you take your vitamin C, but your immune system feels worse if you don't.
That's right.
So you're so I'll take my vitamin C. Or my, whatever, whatever supplements. I think about that all the time, because my supplements is my second highest monthly expenditure in my house. And I just have to tell myself it's working. Because I don't get any feedback. But it takes that discipline to say, but if I don't take it,
that's it.
Now I'm going to suffer down the road. And I'm too stupid to figure out the connection. So don't stop. Just always keep doing it. So I always have like a rolling pharmacy on the road. Oh my God, I have this. It's a very cool thing. But when you see me and I open up these powders and these pills and these, I look like a mad scientist on the road, because you are even eating clean, the standard diet, you still can't get enough of the nutrients. So,
but look at your body.
But
my
body's
kind of a monster.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
You shave your legs.
I do. I hate body hair.
Do you?
I hate it. I showed you the picture of me in my band. I hate body hair. I've always hated it. So I'm like, okay, go away. That problem solved.
Those legs are kind of sexy.
Hey,
if I'm being honest.
You should be.
Post that.
These legs are sexy. Chicken legs. We were hanging around a couple of, like Jay DeVilliers, who's got great legs
Tree trunks too,
Tree trunks.
His calves are not bigger than mine, for the record.
Yes. Well, who are you kidding? Yes, they
are.
My
calves are so much bigger than Jay's.
It's because you're looking straight down on them.
It doesn't matter.
It's perspective.
It doesn't matter.
No, my calves look big when I look straight down on them too, Dane. There's this thing, you should Google it. It's called perspective. It will change your perspective on your calves.
All right.
Yeah, no. But where were we? Totally derailed once you started talking about my legs.
Yes.
So
the rolling. So the rolling and the stretching, and you met Jill Martin. I see her twice a week, Pickleball Yogi, on social media. She's a beast.
You see her twice a week.
She's twice a week for a minimum of 2 hours. Sometimes we'll go 2 hours and 30 minutes.
Wow.
And it's not weight training, it's all body, it's yoga, but some weights, but like she's very, very pickleball specific. So she puts me in positions that directly are going to affect all of my movement and core strength on the pickleball court.
Yeah.
There's no way I'm here without training with her. It's not possible. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
You should probably give her that gold medal.
That's for real.
Like,
but that's another sacrifice too, right? Like, I mean, time with her, I could be working, teaching, training, but training on the court. But that is, once I started breaking that and really committing to that type of workout, because I hate working out, as you can tell. It just
I would have never noticed.
Thank you. It just bores the crap out of me.
I
right?
get it. Yes.
But when it's
boring.
Pickleball specific.
Yes.
Right. It's
now
this, and then you can see the results of like, my gosh, I can lunge and hold and not fall.
Yeah.
Like then I'm coming back. Like it's that instant, it's that feedback.
Wait, are you saying that if you move better, you play better?
Pretty crazy.
Wow.
And in this sport, when you're hinged and reaching and your lower back is so vulnerable all the time. It's crazy. Like, people don't train, they don't stretch, they don't warm up. Most amateurs, they walk on, hit 3 balls because the court is small and they don't think they can hurt themselves. But every trainer, any chiropractor, any kind of physio I've always gone to said, as long as pickleball is in the works, I'll be here forever. Because it just tweaks you way more than tennis ever did. Tennis is fluid, it's moving.
Talk about that a little bit, because you made that transference, and Matthias had shared a very similar thing, his experience coming from tennis to pickle.
You had Matthias on here first?
A long time ago.
It's messed up, man.
Yeah. Like back when I first asked you.
Right. Well,
he just said yes.
He's Swedish. He's much nicer.
He is much nicer.
I had to drag this out.
Much more evasive. Yeah. Or no, much less evasive.
Yeah, less evasive.
Yeah. No, he just said, sure.
Yeah, he's nice.
Yeah, he's nice like that.
I'm an a-hole.
You are.
Yeah.
But I'm persistent.
Yes, you are.
So,
and you're sexy legs.
Hey, whatever it took.
I'm telling you.
If I was like, I'm going to shave my legs for Dane. And
if you were wearing pants, I would not be on this couch right now.
I had to make that decision because you love me in tights.
I do. Wow, that's a whole nother podcast. It's a whole nother show.
Post that.
That's good.
You love me in tights. Yeah.
So Matthias was talking about the fluidity?
Yeah, just like the comparison of like everybody who's still playing tennis thinks that tennis is harder on their body than pickle.
Right.
And then he went from tennis to pickle and he was like, no.
No, yeah.
So what was your experience?
I've always said, and I didn't play as much singles as him, obviously. I did play singles in the beginning, and I'm like, wait a minute. I played a ton of singles, tennis, a lot of doubles. Like, this feels harder than singles. And I thought, because of the quick and the jerk, and there's no time in between, there's no fluidity. It is constant. And people would argue, like, there's no way it's more difficult. I'm like, I'm not a singles expert, but as I talk to more and more pickleball singles players that have transitioned from tennis, the majority say it's not close. It's just a different, the court is bigger in tennis, but it's obvious, there's more rhythm, and you have more time off, you have more break. It's just fluid. There's no fluidity in singles pickleball.
No. And even in doubles, like, I noticed that I get sore, because I play both, and I get sore in different places depending on the 2 different events. So much of doubles is like the herky-jerky stab reaction quick motions where you're just like yoink, yoink, snap, and it's deceptive. Right?
The first day I played, I swear to you, first day I came out, never played it before, watched video, because I have to.
Yes.
Watch video to see. I remember watching Matt Wright, the U.S. Open, play whoever he was playing. And I went out and played, and I was in a squat for 2.5 hours. I think I got a little bit of water, and I was squatted for 2.5, 3 hours. I could not walk down steps for literally a week or 2. I swear I've never felt that pain, and I was still playing tennis.
Wow.
Like full, like on an open level, like money level, not professional.
Okay.
So I was in good shape.
Yeah.
And I had never felt that kind of pain in parts of my body. This was a completely different experience, right? And so what I've learned to do here is when the ball's not to me, I stand up and break.
Okay.
And then when my partner dinks, I get ready.
Okay.
Because if you're staying there, and I don't have legs like Ben, right? Like, I just can't do that, right? I don't have the legs like these 20-year-olds, so you got to take a break. And then he hits, and you got to get ready. Because if you're constantly in that, then you start feeling muscles you didn't know you had.
Yes.
Right? And it's an all-day thing.
It is an all-day thing.
And then that herky-jerky stuff.
And we're all playing, whether you're a rec player or we're in tournaments, people are playing hours, multiple hours, right? And I remember when I interviewed the marketing manager for GU Energy Labs, and we met at the Mesa tournament, and I showed him my my app that tracks my exercise. Okay. And I said, here's singles day. And he's like, how many hours are you on the court?
Right.
And I was like, well, dude, at minimum, all pickleball players, minimum 2. Just minimum 2. 3, 4, 5, 6, easy, depending on the level of addiction. And tournament. And he was like, this is an endurance sport. And his eyes, like he had no idea because it was his first tournament coming over. And it was like, you think about the average person who's playing, like they're so happy, they're so in the moment. But their legs, this is a great one. You guys, when you're at a court, watch just half the court from the side. Don't watch the ball. Watch their legs. It's exhausting. It's exhausting to watch. But we're all tracking a ball, so none of us are thinking about that. But if we just did that workout without a ball, we'd all die.
That's true. But people believe, like, because it's on a tiny court, I don't need to do any prep. Before, like, pre and post. Like, the post is almost as, if not more important than the pre. And the pre is obviously very important. But if you do pre and then play and do no post, you killed yourself. All the lactic acid, all this, like, there's just stretch for 10 minutes when you walk off the court. Just basic hamstring, quad, groin, calf, Achilles. You're done. Right? Just the basics, and you'll feel different.
That's it. I broken record how many times we've talked about this on here, but like it's amazing how few people take that time to do that. And I learned because I would get in the car as a new pickleball player, all fired up with adrenaline. And I'm in long-term recovery in 12-step, and so I'll call my sponsor on the drive home. Feeling great, full of adrenaline. I had this call with him, feels connected with his communities. Like, that's so great. This is so healthy for you. And then by the time I would get home, the adrenaline would have worn off. And the rigor mortis kicks in. And I'd go to get out of my car, and I would audibly make sound.
That's right. That's right.
Right? Like vowels. And walking to my front door. And then I just learned 5 to 10 minutes stretching, and I don't make those sounds anymore.
It matters.
It's not that big a deal. No. You just have to do it. Just do it.
Just discipline. Just like anything. It doesn't matter what we're talking about. Pickleball, business, sport. It doesn't matter. It's all about discipline. What are you willing to do for a few minutes? Like that most people won't do. Right? Because every edge out here, if we're talking like amateur, it doesn't matter whether it's a 4.0, 5.0, or pro, senior pro, or the young pros. Like everybody's getting better. Like yesterday's pros are today's 5.0s. Like
23 this year.
They're so solid.
What a difference this year.
It's unbelievable. And it's only going to get crazier and crazier. So the edges are going to get smaller and smaller. And the edges are not going to just be with what you do with the paddle. Edges are going to be what you eat, how well you sleep, and how you pre and post train, work out, stretched. That is going to be the edge at 8, 9 in the third. You missed a dink because your quad gave out because you didn't. Like that versus it's 8, 9, it might as well be 1, 1. That's the biggest difference. But we won't blame that. We'll blame the backhand. I need to go drill the backhand. We won't say I didn't stretch, or I didn't roll, or I didn't
or
eat
a line call at 6-6 or something. You know, just totally not making the connection.
That's right.
So let's talk about yesterday. So yesterday you had some warm up matches. And it was really interesting because you lost your bag. Someone grabbed your bag basically of all of your nutrients. Mishandled it. It took you a long time to find it. And after the day, you were
I was wiped. Because in my cooler I have a bunch of Zico water. Shout out Zico. Post that. I have Zico water. I love it. Zico Hydrate. And I have olives and all my stuff, right? Everything, the electrolytes and all the water and everything that I eat all day, whether I'm in a tournament or playing rec. And that got lost. And I didn't realize that it was lost. I thought I left it on another court, and we kept playing a bunch of games. And I went to find it, and I couldn't find it. And I was dehydrated by then, and it had only been an hour. Because it was 90.
It's
been
and 90, we're in Vegas.
Hot, and we're in Vegas, right? It's hot. So I was already dehydrated. B, I started to panic because I knew if I don't, I'm going to be hurting. I'm going to be hurting within an hour and a half, and I'm going to be dead the next day. I'm going to be toast if I don't.
That's it.
So I spent over an hour to an hour and a half walking the ground. Someone took the bag and hid it in a corner somewhere, and I took it, and I was just, but it took me all night. I had a headache all night. We were supposed to do this last night, but I came and told you that
were fried.
I was dizzy. I felt terrible. I had to go recover. I had to go ice bath, just totally recover. It took me the whole night of downing 3 huge Zicos, just constant, and I still had a headache at night. But if I wouldn't have done that, I'd have been dead. I mean, I guess I could have waited and just left and gone to the hotel, but I wanted to play. I wanted to play. Mirch and I had never played, so I wanted to
try that time.
Rehydrate. So And I was like, and I told you, I said, I've never felt like this.
Yeah.
But this is what people feel like. Because people don't do it right.
Right.
They don't hydrate. They don't electrolyte. They don't oranges and apples and nuts and all the stuff and all the salt. I'll eat just olives with salt. I'll take mustard for the cramps. Like, people don't do it. This is what they feel like.
Yes.
Like, this feels like crap.
Yes.
I can't play like this. I thought I was going to literally pass out. I felt so terrible. And that was only after, like I said, over an hour, hour and a half.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and also you're like, when you know your body well, and then you stop giving your body what it's used to, you can tell, pretty quickly. And because you've been eating clean and you've been so rigorous and disciplined in your workout, like your awareness, so I use the word sensitivity in athletic performance, like a performance car, like it's more sensitive to what you do with it than a truck. Right. So sensitivity doesn't mean weakness. It means sensing the internal and external environment. And as athletes, the more sensitive you are to your internal environment, you perform better on the outside. And so you were...
Pickles delivered to center court, please.
Toast.
Pickles delivered to center court.
Okay, I don't know if you guys heard that in the background, but we're having this conversation and suddenly we hear Don Stanley just say, "Pickles delivered to center court, please." Pickles delivered to center court. We can't make this stuff up.
We can't make it up to you guys. This is where we are.
It's like I should start a podcast on this or something.
You should.
Just talk about this.
That's right.
Yeah, there will be no paddled reviews on this podcast.
Never.
I'm sorry to break your heart, people.
Pickles only.
We'll have a pickle review.
Pickle juice is really good for you too.
It's very good for you.
You should be just downing that stuff.
There's a blog post on pickleballrecovery.com about the truth about pickle juice. You should go read it. The science is very fascinating.
Who does that show?
I don't know.
What's his name?
Some guy with really nice legs. He's either, in tights or he's just showing those beauty chicken feet off. Oh boy. What practice product, anything that you love that we haven't talked about yet that like that too, like anything else?
I mean, so I've been wearing knee braces from day one when I played, right?
Yeah,
and
that's
I
right.
just found Healy K-tape, Healy Medical K-tape. I'm wearing it now. You can't see it. But it has allowed me, because I sprained my MCL right before the U.S. Open this year. Poor Althoff. I was like 40%. Poor Althoff. And I had these big braces I had to wear, and I'm just like, then I had to take 6 weeks off. And I came back with more knee braces. I'm just like, I'm done with these braces.
Right.
And one of my students said, try this K-tape. I'm like, I hate K-tape. I don't use it. I've used it. It sucks. It doesn't stay on. K-tape, it's terrible. It's never worked. It's never worked. What are you saying? It's not very nice. I'm getting a sense.
No, it's so good. It never works.
I hate it.
Yeah.
And she said, you have to try it.
Yeah.
So I tried it. I tried a sleeve of it. I'm like, nope, doesn't work. Like, whatever. She's like, and I messaged them. I'm like, this was great. Before I put it on, I said, one of my students, she said, try it. I messaged them. They said, we'll send you some.
Okay.
I took it. Then I tried it, but I just did one little thing on the inside of my leg. I'm like, see, sucks. It doesn't work. I messaged them and they're like, no, bozo.
That's not how it works.
Do it like this. So in this, it's crazy. It's more than K-tape. It has things in it that you can actually feel working.
Gotcha.
And I swear to you, I would not wear this if I didn't believe in it, if I didn't feel it. The very first day because on the inner of my MCL, I would have this throbbing pain nonstop, right, with my knee braces when I played. And when I put it on, I went to dinner that night with literally zero pain.
Wow.
I don't know. There's menthol and there's magnesium.
Yes.
Those are 2 things,
The
right?
2
So
things. Yep.
it's freaking amazing. So then, no, you bozo, do it like this. So I put a couple strips on the side and a little bit on my patella tendon. I'm like, oh my gosh, my knee braces, they're gone. I'm not wearing knee braces anymore. So my goal is to go from a couple strips to 1 strip to a little strip, right? And slowly we're going to do that.
Brilliant.
But it has to be every day I train, every day I play a tournament.
Yep.
Mills is making fun of me. You look like a mummy. You got stuff. I'm like, hey, man, you should try it.
Yeah, Mills, what was it look like looking up at Dane
Don't
from the
say
bronze?
that. Don't say that.
While he was on gold.
He's going to come at my right shoulder more. He'll say that.
I have a welt on my left side from Mills today. So, he struck first.
He's OG, though.
Yeah, he is OG.
Yeah.
He is. All right. Well, listen, I think we probably covered all of it.
Yeah. Can I get a kiss, by the way?
No.
Okay. Post that.
Yeah. Hey, thanks for joining us.
That was super fun, man. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Thanks so much for listening. Did you know there's one place on the web for all your recovery needs? It's at www.pickleballrecovery.com. You'll find all the products I personally use and recommend, along with exclusive discounts on many of them, as well as my blog where I help you make sense out of all the different products and practices out there to keep you moving and feeling better so you play better. After all, your body is the most expensive piece of equipment you own. Also, do you want to know the number one mistake picklers make that leads to increased pain, soreness, stiffness, and injury? Just head over to pickleballrecovery.com and download my free guide to playing with less pain and more enjoyment. Listen, pickleball makes us feel young at heart, but not young in body. So go download my free guide at www.pickleballrecovery.com. See you next time.